What's up everybody, Destroyer here. Welcome back to another cast of the Rise of Witch King, patch 2.2 version 6. Today we have a 1v1 on Forts of Isen II. So let's get in there. Let's get in there. Yeah, we have our first player, Daryl, as the Isengard player in the top left. And in the bottom right we have his opponents, Sania, as Elves. Alright, so we got Elves versus Isen. Cool. Oh, looks like we have Farsight being used, Palantir rather. Vision of the Palantir being used, so it looks like Daryl's curious to see what Sania is going to start. And I don't think Sania is going to do that. And I would expect that Daryl is not going to go Wildman against his opponents. Looks like he's actually waiting to throw down his thing there. Interesting. He's going Wildman. Usually it's generally advised not to go Wildman, but Wildman can be used to good effect, especially in maps with a lot of trees. Since there's a lot of tree cover, which has a decent amount of trees, you can take advantage of the stealth aspect of the Wildman. But of course they will die to archer fire pretty rapidly, so that might we'll see how that works. Anyway, both players are getting their economies rolling. He's of course getting his clan setting. And Sania is going for his barracks, which he's going for Lorien warriors as his starting units. So that will be what he throws up against the Wildman of Dunland. Of course, it is possible that, I was going to say, he could go for Wildman axe throwers. It's unusual, but I guess it's not completely unreasonable. It would be a kind of a slow start, I would expect, though. So you have to build the place, and then also upgrade it, and then build a unit. That'll set you back quite a bit. Yeah, it looks like Daryl's throwing down an Uruk Pit as well. So he'll potentially probably go Wildman crossbows. That's a pretty standard start against any player, really. I probably won't do too bad. Wildman crossbows. Crossbows are pretty effective against elves. So we'll see how that works out for him. The first battalion of Lorien warriors is making its way across the ford for Sania into the lands of Daryl. Daryl has the Wildman Dunland battalion. Looks like he's stealthing him in the trees as well. There you go. They went to stealth. Very nice. It was something stealth, of course, because they flash in and out of existence, basically. Ooh. He's going for a nice flank. Opting not to attack in the flank and then go instead for the enemy base, which is probably the smarter move, I'd say. But unfortunately, Sania does have some dudes. Archers. Some dudes, yeah, bro. He's got some archers ready to intercept that. Looks like Daryl is ready to intercept these elves as well. Positioning his Wildman right behind his furnace so he won't get raided there. Nice idea. Very nice. Daryl keeping the enemy on his toes, moving his Wildman around. Trying to keep him guessing what's happening. We got a battalion of Mithlon sentries out for Sania. Looks like he's going to creep this ward lair. Try and get a little stuff from that, which is a good idea. A little gold and a little PowerPoint generation never hurt anybody. And that will definitely help. There is now a decent amount of Wildmen on the field. Of course, Wildmen against Lorien warriors, the Wildmen will lose, especially with archer support, of course. But he does have crossover support of his own. So we'll see how that works out for him. I think he's going to clean up nicely, but he's going to pull back, which is a wise move. See what else he's got brewing. He's got more crossbows and Wildmen. Wildmen are mainly just used as meat shields for the crossbows, as you would expect. They don't tank arrow fire very well, but I mean, if you throw enough of something at an enemy, they'll tank it, you know. Unfortunately, the Mithlon sentries do get onto the archer line of Daryl, and they are carving their way through those crossbows nicely. We have 2 battalions of Lorien archers for Sania now, and a couple of melee units, so he's in a good spot. I'd say he's got a stronger army. Daryl just about getting this tree. Looks like he's going to fall short, though, unfortunately. And the tree will stand for now. Those elves being brought back. Potentially going to get a well or something to heal this up. Mirror Galadriel, rather. As the elven equivalent of a well. But that should be a good idea. I'd say once you start getting this many units, it wouldn't hurt to have a hearth of some kind, or a well or mirror to heal your guys up. No use throwing your enemies away. Your enemies? Yes, you should throw your enemies away. Your units, rather, is what I meant to say. Should throw them away. It looks like Daryl is going to go for wargs. Probably warg riders, I would expect, not the warg packs. He could, of course, harass the warg packs. It's fairly effective, but I mean, I'd say with an archer heavy army like this, he really needs some cav of some kind, I think. As much as all of us hate warg riders in this current version, they, you know, they still get some good tramples in there. And if they're actually on the archer line, they'll carve them up nicely. Unfortunately, there's just a lot of archers. Fortunately, they're all unprotected. So if he does manage to get... Oh, he's actually going to go for the warg pack. Interesting. I guess they're quick, and they could technically get around and actually do some damage. I think maybe warg riders would have been a better choice, but warg pack could still be useful. He can still harass the warg packs. And also help stop the swordsman from doing too much around his lands. So we'll see how that works out for him. Sania is still creeping the warg layers, which is definitely helping him out. He's also... could creep that one as well, if Daryl doesn't push out and stop him. Looks like he's not going to do that. Ooh, we have Farsight being used. So both players have their vision powers, which is interesting. Most players don't actually go for a vision power, so it's unique to see a different tactic being employed. Neither player has gone for War Chance. Well, I guess Sania did go for Relical as his first power, but second power was his Spy. It doesn't look like Daryl's deciding to go for another 5 yet. Opting to instead go for maybe a 10. I think the 10 after Isengard's Farsight is Industry, if I'm not mistaken, because I usually go for that myself, because I like Industry a lot. And we have Mirkwoods on the field for Sania. That's going to be incredibly useful. You see they're doing quite well. Also, another factor that Elves could put into play, potentially, is stealth. Elves stealth in trees no matter what elven unit pretty much they are. Not all elven units. I don't know if Noldors can stealth in trees. Obviously Ents can't stealth in trees. It's silly. They're huge. Stuff like that. But most elves can stealth in trees. And that could create for some nice ambushes. As we see here. I have no doubt that Daryl did not mean to run into that. That's something that both teams can employ pretty nicely, the stealth tactic. Stealth is a very underused and underappreciated part of BFME, I think. It has potential to be quite strong. Especially if you've seen the things you can do with it in the Souls Extended Guide to Stealth that I did a while back. Which is on a playlist somewhere. There's some nice things you can do with stealth there. With anyone of the teams that have stealth, especially the Elves, of course, because they're the most stealth-oriented faction. There's the rally call on the army of Sania. He's got a pretty strong force. Mirkwoods, pikes. And Daryl has a lot of rabble, really. It's got a decent amount of crossbows in there, though, at least. Those are not bad. But I don't think it's going to be particularly great. Unfortunately, direwolves, not direwolves, the warg packs are not direwolves, and they do not eat pikemen alive like direwolves do. They're not even good against pikemen, in fact. They do quite poor. So, they're not very... I honestly don't think these are a very good addition to his composition for this matchup. I think he needs warg riders, not warg packs. His warg riders could actually do damage here, as there's lots of exposed units. Unfortunately, he's not opting to go for cav, which I think is a mistake. A very big mistake. There's exposed archers everywhere on this map, and he's not taking advantage of it. Because sending a warg pack at this will just end up the warg pack dying. They don't trample. Warg riders, on the other hand, will probably get to the enemy and trample. So, I mean, I think it'd be better, but eh. I don't think it's going to happen, sadly. And now it looks like Sania is creeping the northern war glare now. Might as well just creep them all while he's at it. There's still one here. And of course he can creep the troll layers while he's at it as well. He's also creeped this one. And you could also capture the inn and get some hobbits if he so desired, but I think at this point in the game hobbits are going to be kind of obsolete, as you see at Mirkwoods. You don't really need hobbits. Hobbits got a very small range. That's where Mirkwoods have a huge range, and they're still powerful. So hobbits kind of nullified at this point, I think. I definitely think Daryl is in trouble, though. Things he's throwing at the enemy, not particularly great. I think it is. I think this is a hard matchup for Isen, personally, myself. At late game, at least. Once you get late game, you face Mirkwoods, you face Pikes, your Cav is garbage, your Ballistas are garbage, even your archers can't match up with their archers in range or damage, and you just... The only thing you really have is Watcher, to be honest. Watcher and Wildman Summon's pretty good too, as that'll carve down a lot of Mirkwoods. But, of course, those are high-tier powers. Well, that's not, but Watcher's a mid-tier power. And it takes a while to get to that point. But I do feel like Isen can struggle pretty heavily late game without those powers. Of course, good additions to the Isengard army would be Deathbringers, Lurts, Sharku, some Warg Riders could be good. Stuff like that, but unfortunately a lot of players don't tend to use stuff like that. Because this composition is just asking to be arrow fodder. Urkai Swordsman can be tanky, but Wildmen I think are just literally like feeding in power points at this point. And there's a prime example of why a Warg Rider would have been a better choice. He had a perfect trample opportunity there. Fortunately though, he will fail, or he will kill them. He will fail. Fortunately, he will fail. No, that's not right. Fortunately, he will kill those. He is going for an attack on the base, though. Managed to get a tree, it looks like. Very nice. Urkai swords are tanky, and they're very strong, so they're not a bad unit by any means. It's just archers are good against swordsmen. But they're definitely a step well beyond the step up from the wildman that he's been throwing at the enemy. Sania, I don't feel like is in any danger, perhaps. He's just going to lose a few trees here. As the Urks fall to their death from arrow fire. We got Kreebine there, very nice. Good choice. For multiple reasons. Of course, it weakens the enemy, nullifies their leadership, but also, of course, reveals Shroud and detects stealth units, which is good against Elves as well. That nasty stealth. Oh, we got Summon Tom Bombadil. And you get a decent Sonic song, I guess. Not really great. Faced the wrong way, I'd say. And now he's going off to hug a bear. Or not, maybe not. I don't know where he's going. It's Tom Bombadil, don't ask what he does. He does what he wants. And we do indeed have industry out for Daryl, so that's definitely helping his economy. Although putting it on the front farm might be a problem if the elves push too far. What is Tom Bombadil doing? Sania is just having a bit of a dance. He didn't get a whole lot done with that Bombadil. No sweet Bombadillos there. And there we go. See the Mirkwoods actually fending off the swordsman in melee there. Very nice. And Sania creeping once again another layer. He's got to be quite ahead on power points. Actually, he's not really. He's got a 10, a 5, 10, 3 5s, and an 8. He's got a 10, a 10, and 2 5s and a 2. So, I mean, he's ahead. Well, is he? 20, 32. I guess so. Yeah, of course he is. Also, 552, 710. As we have 670, 850 for Daryl. Looks like Daryl's doing better on the economy front. Of course, he has his economy power as well, which is very nice. So he'll be beasting it. Statue here, promoting the Elves leadership, which is very useful. And of course, troop cost reduction. Infantry cost minus 4%. Oh yeah, I forgot they actually increase your command point limit by 10 as well. I actually forgot about that feature completely. That's another reason to build statues. Statues are just good to have in general. There's no real downside. And I believe they give you fear resistance. Yeah, fear resistance while you're around. Of course, Isengard doesn't have any fear, as far as I'm aware. No, they don't. So, not really a factor there. Looks like Daryl's going to claim the outposts. Unfortunately, the in unit for Isengard is Wildman of Dunland. So, that's not going to be particularly useful. He is really relying on these Wildmen of Dunland, though. I don't think they're paying off, you know? What is with the lack of word writers? It hurts my soul. He knows there's he knows there's guys in there. I guess there's pikes too, but still. With some micro, I guess you could get around him. Just word packs do not. They do not fight archers. That's not what they're meant for, is it? What does it say? Stronger swordsmen and archers. Well, I take back what I said. But they don't. I don't think they fight Mirkwoods particularly great, as we're seeing. And of course, Wildmen are just. They're too weak. They have no armor. They're basically naked. Mirkwoods, of course, finest archers in Middle-earth. With the exception of Noldor's, I guess. Oh, looks like Sania has the ring, as he's got the not creative edition, special edition? Collector's edition, that's the word I'm looking for. Collector's edition and banner on his troops, which I think is pretty neat. And of course they'll have white eagles, as you see there. Which looks very weird when you have a green wing. It's also pretty cool at the same time. Oh dear. Being picked up by an eagle, not a good day. It's going to be a bit problematic for him, I think. Eagles are pretty cool though, gotta admit. They're no fell beasts, but they're still pretty cool. Sonia's throwing up some towers there to protect from eagles and anything else really, which is a good idea, definitely. He's continuing once again to try and get some attacks on some Malorn trees. Unfortunately, there is an eagle there. One thing Wildmen do excel at is if you give them the torch upgrade and go for buildings, then they really do some damage. I mean, they still do good damage without it, and of course they still pillage. Maybe he's relying on the pillage ability to actually get his income. Seems crazy, but it's not outlandish, is it? I think he's gonna lose if he doesn't get Warg Riders or something. A ballista, anything, you know? He's building nothing to counter range units. I think it's gonna be his downfall. Hell, get a Deathbringer in there. Just fucking ravage those. While Lurtz tanks the arrows or something. Could be good. He's not going for any of this. Unfortunate for him, I guess. Elves going for a little attack. We should get a furnace. And of course the Mirkwoods will just eat alive everything here. Because that's what Mirkwoods do. Unfortunately for him, he just does not know how to deal with Mirkwoods, it seems like. I mean, most players would probably at least build one cav unit at some point. He has upgraded his thing to level 2. He's gonna need like two or three battalions of Wargriders to really effectively crush them, though. I think if he got like 2 in Sharku, he might be in a good spot. This, though, this is the savior of Isengard against Elves. Elves like to clump up their units. Powerful little clumps of units. And of course Watcher eats those for breakfast, literally. So that's a good So now that he has that in his arsenal, that'll definitely help him out a lot. Maybe that'll help swing things in his favor as well. If he can kill all these Mirkwoods off, that'd be great. As you see here, he is trying to deal with Mirkwoods stealthing in the trees. And as you see, that's not going very well. He does actually have the Murder of Crows, which does give you stealth detection, but not at the range of which it sees, I've heard. Like, you can see out to here with the Murder of Crows, but I read it only goes out to the max amount of sight you had before you had Murder of Crows on your fort. So it's like here or something. And that will give you stealth detection to there or so. So that's something to keep in mind. And we have our first battalion of workers out finally. It's been far overdue. It might even be too late. I don't know. We'll see. But this should help out if he starts getting workers out now. It'll cause Sania to have to clump up his units a lot more, have to defend a lot more with pikes, allowing his, of course, RotWK to do better damage against them, assuming they live enough to get there. Sania's got a couple of Musical Galadriel to heal up his troops. He's got 3 barracks, one of them, of course, level 2 to get some Mirkwoods out. And he's got an eagle's nest, and he's going for a giant eagle. How intriguing. Ah, there goes a nice bombadillo. Very nice indeed. Sonic Song wrecking the fools. As you see, the workers are doing pretty well, but they will die to the Mirkwoods regardless if they're not on them, unfortunately. I think the stealth is just really annoying him. I mean, look at these Mirkwoods keep going in and out of stealth. That's got to be impossible to target down. And they're just taking pop shots when they can. That's got to be frustrating to say the least. Looks like Daryl is going for upgrades potentially. He's at least got his Forge Works armory rather, so he can do that. Let's see how one battalion of Warg Riders does. Oh, he passed by them. Okay. And there goes the cloud break. Oh no. Well, that'll allow him to deal with that. Sania is really taking advantage of this stealth. He's even got the Elven Mist. There's the Creebine though. Creebine does detect stealth. And that should help him find his enemy. Very interesting indeed. And here we go. With Creebine he should be fine now, I think. And of course he'll be debuffing the enemy. Crossbows and fire arrows might be a good upgrade to go for. Might help him out a lot. Oh, down goes Lurtz. And the workers get a nice trample off on those. And there you go. One trample basically killed those. So that was definitely worth it. A level 5 battalion of Mirkwoods, you need to get those off the field. Doesn't matter how many Warg Riders you have to send to their death. Unfortunately, it looks like Sania did clean up there, though. He does still have this Elven Mist. Oh, there he goes. Power has despawned. And Daryl's probably feeling the pressure a bit now, I think. Although he's still on the offensive. But Haldir is leading the defense. And the Mirkwoods and Haldir cleaning house. Crossbows, of course, stand no chance whatsoever. And it's just... it hurts to see Isengard struggle against Elves. I hate it. Because I love Isengard as a faction. I think they're very cool. They're one of my favorite factions to play, in fact. Other than Mordor. Probably my second favorite faction to play, other than Mordor, in fact. But... against Elves, it's just like... I've been in this situation many times, especially in a free-for-all, where it's just really late game. Elves have all the stuff, and you're just like... what do I have? I don't know. I'd love to see some replays of some high tier like Elf versus Isen, where Isen really cleans house. Late game. I've probably seen some plenty of times. In fact, I just can't remember because I'm old. But you know, I'm sure they're out there. Anyway, Sania. I'd say is in control of this game. Even though if you look at the map and stuff, it doesn't seem like he is. I guess he kind of is. Yeah, he's got trees over to here. Trees all the way to here. Yeah, he's definitely... He's got map control, he's got stronger armies. Power-wise. He's got Cloudbreak, Eagles, and Mist, he's up to 13. He's got Bombadil as well. And he's at 691 of 85. That's where Daryl is at 17 power points. He's got himself Watcher, Industry, Wildman, and the other 5, 720 of 725, so he is lacking behind in the command point front. As far as max command points, that is. But he is building up his power points. Don't get me wrong, he can pull a victory out of this. I know I sound very down against the Elves. It's not impossible. Oh, the addition of an eagle, though. That's gotta suck. And most of the War Riders are dead before anything even happened, unfortunately. That's too bad. Deathbringers would be... I think Deathbringers would have been good. Definitely want to utilize your mini hero horde units if you can. I think they would have been pretty good if they got up close. They managed to do some damage. Stealth is just wrecking his day. Also, if he's not using Vision of the Palantir, what is he spying on with Vision of the Palantir? I think Daryl's spying on his base. Vision and Palantir might be good to actually save to, if he gets in this position, to spy on the enemy, perhaps. Put it over them, and then he can see the enemy underneath that Vision of the Palantir. And then he won't have that issue with stealth. Because, of course, the Creebine helps as well, but Creebine can die very quickly as well. So, that's a good way to detect stealth without having to deal with the death of the birds. But it looks like Sania is just waiting it out here. While Daryl gets more stuff. I think Daryl's got the right idea though. War Riders, he just needs to... It's a tricky situation. He needs siege, I think. Unfortunately, we all know Ballista's not very good. But I mean, it's better than nothing, yeah? If you have enough Ballistas, might push him back with enough Mirkwood getting hit with it. Shoot the Ballistas, charge in the War Riders, maybe. And then send in the crossbows. I definitely think he's relying too much on swordsmen and wildmen, because they're not helping whatsoever. They're arrow fodder. Look how quickly they drop. He should at least put pikemen, I think. Put pikemen in porcupine formation. And then go in that way. Alright, here he goes. And there's the terrible trample of the War Riders. Unfortunately, he's in such a good spot. Oh dear. And there's the flood on the base of Daryl. Oh jeez. And of course the Elven mist, enshrouding mist being thrown down. Lurtz is in there though, he's getting involved. So is Tom Bombadil apparently. Let's see what Lurtz does. I'd say Daryl got the better of that engagement. Finally. Feels good, man. Unfortunately, his base did just take a huge beating. But Lurtz and Carnage did do the job. He needs to make sure he gets out of there. Or he gets discoed into the next century by Tom Bombadil. Sania is attacking on the northeast side as well with some soldiers and some Mirkwoods. He's also got Mirkwoods here, back where they were before. It's like they never left. And they're just picking off some units. No, don't fall for the trap. Ooh. I thought he was gonna fall for the trap. Mirkwoods would have picked him off. Mirkwoods and Haldir finishing off Lurtz would have been nasty. And there we have Treebeard coming out. Oh. Apparently we had a dragon strike not too long ago. Didn't see that happen. But it did damage some buildings. It got rid of the level 2 Elven barracks. He hasn't rebuilt yet. That'll stop the Mirkwoods for a minute. see the money situation. Sania's got 5,200. And Daryl has 500. So that's quite a difference. And it looks like he's starting to get a bunch of Ents. Ents and Treebeard. Looks like he's looking to finish the show. And that club break really being nasty. There you go. Watcher once again going up. String that nice clump of elves. Very nice. Very nice indeed. This is truly the powerhouse weapon against elves. This and barrage, of course, and anything else like that. The big AoE 15 power points are very good against elves. Good against any army, really, but especially elves. Since elves focus on strong troops that try not to die. Obviously, you don't want your Merkwas to die if possible. And unfortunately, Warguards are struggling. I think if he went Warguards earlier, he might not be as bad of a situation. But still, in little numbers and just the amount of shit that he has to deal with, it is definitely proving difficult. And Sania is just abusing the stealth mechanics of the Merkwas. Look at this. Just lie low in the trees, firing at will. It's beautiful. It's nice to see it employed, but at the same time, it hurts to see it happen. Because it's difficult. Difficult to deal with, I have no doubt. It doesn't look like Daryl has opted to go for any siege equipment as of yet. He's got heavy armor, though. That could at least make his Wargraders heavy more durable, so that's good. Still, I think the Merkwoods will still burst them down before they get to them most of the time, though. And unfortunately, Sania has an eagle. Up to level 6, no less, so he does have the Wing Blast ability. Which is very cool. And those Warguards are just having a very bad day. Being dropped from like 50 feet in the air to their death. Not the best way to go, it's gotta be said. As soon as he gets enough Ents, I mean that's enough Ents itself. Yeah, he's not getting more. He doesn't really need more. Treebeard and Ents. That should be enough to finish the game, I think. Daryl's also put most of his buildings behind his base, which is smart. So the elves can't just wreck everything in the front. Or camp it in the front as well. Elves like to camp, as we all know. It's kind of how you play elves, in a way. You focus on just making a powerful clump of troops and you camp. And then you push, you camp, you push. And then you win. Because elves are strong. Which is, as we see here, he likes this spot. I don't know why Sania likes this spot so much, but it works. Can you stealth in the fallen trees? You can. How unusual. You would think because these trees are down that you wouldn't be able to stealth in that. But no, that's still a thing. Alright. Treebeard and the Ent being sent in now. I don't think Daryl has what it takes to deal with this. He undoubtedly does not have Watcher left. He's already used it. He's got no high tier powers to throw at it. I think he's in trouble. Sania, on the other hand, is about to get another 25 point power. And of course we all know that's Sunflare, so that's going to be brutal. I think that's what he's trying to do. He's being very slow and methodical about this process of elimination. So perhaps he's going for his last 25 point power without killing the enemy. Oh, here we go. He's actually starting to hit the forts. Doing a little damage. He can land overriding the Elven Wood there. Instantly killing the trees, which is pretty cool. I like that's a fact. That's a feature. There's the Wildman summon. Tom Bombadil being summoned in. Trying to save the day. But it looks like Daryl does have enough strength to push back. Oh god, no. Oh no! Daryl, you clumped too hard. That was a huge Sonic Thorn. So many crossbows died. That's a very unfortunate turn of events. Sania could have easily went for Galadriel in this game if he wanted to. Opted not to, though, looks like, as he spent all his money. He has retreated, as he has lost the majority of his force. But I do feel like Sania potentially could have ended this game a few times. But maybe he has opted not to. Which is fair enough, but still. I do feel like Isengard's been on the back foot the entire game, pretty much. Which is not the greatest spot to be in, as we all could agree, I'm sure. Lots of eagles flying around, Jesus Christ. Ah! I guess that's where his money went. He actually did he got Galadriel. There you go. And he is... Oh, he went for another 10 PowerPoint. I guess Elven Wood was his choice. Well, there we go. We got Galadriel. A nice way to clean this game out, eh? Now Isengard has truly no chance. If they didn't have a chance before, now they really don't have a chance. I guess we'll just watch Galadriel kick some ass. That's always fun. She's got a nice backswing. Woo! Of course, she has that tornado as well, which is always fun. Isengard is going to feel the pain. You gotta love the ring heroes. They're fun to use. Usually not realistic to have in a game, but still fun to use nonetheless. Always worth. Unfortunately, he's gonna lose a few farms in the process, but holy crap, look at that. That one hit killed every guy except for 2. Pretty nuts. So we have here Elves camping it up, of course. As they do. Taking full advantage of the bush he's standing on. Eagles looks like attacking, trying to attack a... that's his. Okay. Not sure what that was about. But Daryl is going to push here. We're going to attempt to. There's the cloud break. At least we don't have a Tom Bombadil banjo going on. Oh, that's a good combo. Ents walk over units. Very nicely as well. Freeze the enemy and then walk over them. Pretty good combo. I like that. Very nice play there. Of course, Treebeard's a complete boss. He's in no danger whatsoever. Galadriel's chilling out over there. I'm surprised Daryl hasn't given up yet. I'm gonna be honest. He's been in a spot where he shouldn't give it up ages ago. Not saying he should give up, but most players in this position would have given up a long time ago. Although I commend perseverance. Sometimes you come back, you know? And it's epic when it happens. And sometimes you don't, and then you get squashed in a long, painful death. So, I guess you gotta go with whatever works. Go with whatever happens. But Sania are gonna try and bring down the fortress of Daryl once again. There goes the chain of land, but there goes Galadriel for the beautiful defense. Oh yeah. Wonderful. We have summon Ents as well somewhere. There it is. Just to put more Ents into the picture. And of course you can move the tornado, put it onto the fort when you're done with the units. And it'll do decent damage over time. It's a fairly powerful and lengthy tornado. Ah, there's another watcher. Beautiful. Oh, he passed the tornado over the fort. He actually could have finished it with the... 2 more rocks will do it, I think. He's using the Ents to beat the watcher's face in, though. Which is always fun. Look at him go. And the Ents are still alive. Watcher not very good against Ents, in case you're wondering. It will one-shot any siege equipment like ballistas, trebuchets. Ents and giants, though, not so much. and it actually does very little damage. But yeah, he could end this game real quick if he'd like to. Lurtz actually put up a good fight against Galadriel there. Unfortunately, he did fall, as expected. But yeah, this game is definitely over. I think we can all agree. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here and there for the slow death. I mean, he's toying with him. Look at it. He can finish him, and he's not. I heard Dragon Strike. Did you tell him to Dragon Strike his army? Oh no. Well, at least you got that in there. Beautiful. Okay, well that was the thing. Let's fast forward. There goes his fortress. He's not dead yet. Oh my god, die already, Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna fast forward to the end of the game. You don't even let him have a fort. There you go. Sania, toying with his prey. Playing with his food. Shouldn't play with your food. But yeah. Anyway. Reasonably enjoyable match, but yeah, very one-sided, I think. For the most part, I feel like Daryl did not know the answer to the elf play there as Isen, and that is that's fair enough. That's a struggle. There you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that cast, and I'll see you guys in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King Patch 2.2 version 6. See you all next time.